Hello, everyone. In today's lesson, we will discuss would, should, and could. These words are incredibly useful in English, and you'll often hear them in everyday conversations. Let's dive into their grammatical uses, understand their meanings, and see how they function in sentences. Let's begin. These three are modal verbs. Modal verbs. They are auxiliary verbs that express necessity, possibility, permission, or ability. Would, should, and could convey different shades of meaning and are used for different purposes. They help modify the main verb in a sentence and add nuance to your speech. First is would. Would is a modal verb, and these are the uses. First is for polite requests or offers, used to make requests or offers to sound more polite. Example, would you like a cup of tea? Number two is for hypothetical situations, used to talk about imaginary or unlikely scenarios. Example, if I won the lottery, I would travel the world. Third use is for future in the past. It is used to describe a future event from a past perspective. Example, she said she would call later. Number four, for repeated actions in the past. It describes habitual actions that happened in the past. Example, every summer we would visit our grandparents. And last is for conditional sentences, often used in conditional sentences to express what might happen. Example, I would help you if I could. Let's have more example sentences for the modal verb would. For polite request, would you mind closing the window? This is a polite way of asking someone to close the window. Next is for hypothetical. I would buy a house by the beach if I had the money. In this sentence, it imagines a scenario that isn't real at the moment. Next is for future in the past. He promised he would finish the project by Friday. In this sentence, it talks about a future action from a past time. Now let's have example for repeated action. In our childhood, we would play in the park every evening. In this sentence, it describes a regular past activity. And last is for conditional. I would attend the meeting if it were scheduled earlier. In this sentence, it indicates a condition that affects the outcome. Now let's move on to the second modal verb, which is should. These are the different uses of should. First is for advice or recommendations. It is used to give advice or suggest actions. Example, you should see a doctor. Number two is for obligation or duty. It indicates a sense of obligation or duty. For example, you should apologize for your mistake. Number three is for expectations, used to express expectations. Example, the package should arrive tomorrow. Number four is for conditional sentences, sometimes used in, yes, conditional sentences. Here is the example. If you should need help, just ask. And last is for mild criticism or disapproval. It can be used to indicate disapproval gently. Example, you shouldn't have done that. Now, to understand it more, here are more example sentences for should. Number one is for advice. You should try the new restaurant downtown. In this sentence, it is recommending an action to someone. Number two is for obligation. Students should submit their assignments on time. In the sentence, it indicates a duty or requirement. Number three is for expectation. The weather should be nice this weekend. It expresses what is expected to happen. Number four is for conditional. If you should find my keys, please let me know. In this sentence, it suggests a condition with a polite tone. And number five, for criticism. You should not have spoken to her that way. In this sentence, it mildly criticizes a past action. And last is the modal verb could. These are the different uses of could. Number one is for ability in the past. It expresses what someone was able to do in the past. Example, when I was younger, I could run fast. Number two is for polite requests. It is used to make polite requests. Example, could you help me with this? Number three is for possibility. It indicates that something is possible. Example, it could rain later today. Number four is for suggestions. It offers suggestions or possibilities. Example, we could go to the movies tonight. And number five, for conditional sentences. It is used to express potential outcomes. Example, I could join you if I finish my work early. To understand more the uses of could, here are other sentences. Number one, for past ability. She could swim before she could walk. In this sentence, it talks about an ability in the past. Number two, for polite request. Could you pass the salt, please? In the sentence, it's a courteous way to ask for something. Number three, for possibility. This road could be dangerous at night. In this sentence, it suggests a potential risk. Number four, for suggestion. We could try that new coffee shop. In this sentence, it offers an idea for consideration. And number five, for conditional. I could help you with your project if you want. In this sentence, it indicates willingness depending on the condition. And there you have it. Now, let's check how well you understand the lesson through this short quiz. Choose the correct modal verb would, should, or could to complete each sentence. Number one, you like to join us for dinner? The correct answer is would. It is used for a polite invitation. Number two, he promised he finish the report by Monday. The correct answer is would. It is used for future in the past. Number three, you check the weather before going hiking. The correct answer is should. It is giving advice. Number four, when I was a child, I climbed trees easily. The correct answer is could. Obviously, it's a past ability. And number five, if you need assistance, please call us. The correct answer is should because it indicates conditional advice. How many correct answers did you get? Share in the comments. Now, your task is to make a sentence using would, should, and could. And I'd love to read them in the comments below. That's our lesson for today. I hope you learned something. Happy learning and see you on the next one. Bye!